All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation for my project. The project is called What's the Cost? And the general idea of it is a application that helps combat the growing issue of betting addictions or gambling addictions in the United States or anywhere that they're a problem. Um, it is pretty widely known that gambling addictions, since the introduction of online sports betting, has become fairly um, popular and has become more and more of an issue as it's become more readily available. So the goal of this project was to sort of combat some of the tactics that these specifically sports betting companies use to take your money without you really even realizing what's happening. Um, so to start with, when a user would log into this page, they would be given the option to add a betting app. This would just be any app that they have an account with. They can add to the website. They put in the URL of the app or the website, and then they give the username and password of that account so that the application would be able to pull their data necessary to show some of these statistics. The idea um, to combat those tactics that the betting companies use sort of stems from some of the things that they do, like hiding a lot of the losses that you have. They really like to show you the wins, keep you on cloud nine, thinking that you know what you're doing and you're making money. They will sort of, if they notice that you're losing a lot, they'll give you a little T-ball, Grand Slam win. They'll give you an easy one that you can make a decent amount of money from, but in the long run, you're still going to end up losing. They just want you to feel that high again from winning and stay in before you realize that what you're doing is actually hurting yourself. So the idea is to take those dark tactics that they use, sort of flip them on their head, use some form of dark tactics where a lot of what's phrased in here is more shown in a negative light. Um, and even though they are dark tactics, I guess, use them for a positive way. Um, so up top, you can see that you can filter by the week, the day, or the month, um, and that lets users just get a more general sense of time frame. That's specifically for these statistics up here, so you can see we'll show that you've placed 25 bets in the last week across 3 different apps. 20 of those bets lost, giving us this big percentage in red, saying, "Oh no, you're not doing so hot." Um, you can see red is used a lot throughout this project. That's sort of to put a negative image in the user's head. Unlike a lot of web applications, the goal of this one is to make the user come away not feeling great. So, coloring was a big, real emphasis point used in this project. Again, we've got $850 placed on bets this week, which is up from last week. So maybe trying to put in the user's head that they're not trending in the right direction for the amount of money that they're putting into these corporate entities' pockets. And out of those $850, you lost 600 of it. So 70% of the money you put up, you lost. Um, Down here we have more of like a holistic view. So in total, you've gambled your hard-earned money 276 times, and you've given the sports betting companies $3,500. Again, using phrasing to instill more of a negative, more of a sort of poking fun at the user in a way. Not really, but it's not a great way to say these negative things, which would hopefully in turn make them feel bad about what decisions they're making. We've got a chart that shows the amount of money you've lost over time. And as you can see, there's some spikes that may occur. This might occur due to that little T-ball example I mentioned before, where a betting company will see you've got this downward trend, you're not doing so hot. Hey, let's give them a little odds boosted, easy layup parlay for them to bet on. They'll win decent amount of money. I mean, you're up $500, but in the long run, you can see it's nowhere near from where you started. And then you just get right back into the cycle, thinking that you know what you're doing, um, and you're winning big. But in reality, it's all a ploy from these companies. Moving on, we've got a little bit of a breakdown of this $3,500 that you've lost. Um, this calculation would be done behind the scenes, sort of trying to make it more personal to the user, finding things that might be impactful to the specific individual with the money, that rather than them having some CEO of FanDuel or MGM has in their back pocket. So things like simple things. We'll start with simple things. You could have bought 700 cups of coffee. That's a lot of coffee. Um, but instead, that money's just gone. You could have paid 3 months of rent. That would be nice for a lot of people. 3 months of rent is a decent amount of money. You could have provided yourself food for 22 weeks. You could have purchased 14 shares of Apple stock, which, if you look, Apple stock's doing a bit better than the odds of hitting that 9 leg parlay. And then you could have protected 500 children from malaria, making it a bit more personal, making it a little bit more um, emotionally driven. And same with Nourish Starving Children with 12,000 meals. So that is the gist of it. Of course, we've got a link to the 1-800-gambling website if someone does feel that this does have an impact. They realize something and they would like to maybe reach out. Um, Pretty simple. Again, using color and phrasing here to paint a negative image on the situation, because for a lot of people it is negative. They just don't realize it because these companies have found ways to gamify the throwing away of money, and um, this is hopefully intended to help that. Thank you for watching.